Hello, and welcome to a new episode with your host, Vinney Chopra. I'm so excited to have you here as we dive deep into the world of real estate investing, syndications, abundance mindset, and building generational wealth. We are excited to be in the top 1.5% of the real estate podcasts. Got number 11 actually out of top 50 real estate syndication podcasts. Thanks to you. Each episode, we bring powerful insights, expert guests, and actionable strategies to help you take your investing game to the next level. Whether you are a seasoned investor or just getting started, if you love what you hear, please take a moment to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media so that we can never miss an episode. Your support helps us continue sharing valuable content with more people like you. Now let's jump into today's episode. Thank you. All right, guys, this is Vinney Chopra back again. I hope you're liking the episodes that we are putting out for you. Lots of great work. I've got a great friend with me today, Damion Lupo, a well-known personality in our whole real estate world, in EQRP world and everything. I was going to go to his factory, actually. I apologize. And we were going to get there and I was going to film him and everything. But Damion, thank you for joining in the studio. I really appreciate you, brother. And just to talk about Damion, he is the chairman and the chief investment officer of FrameTech. We're going to talk about FrameTech a lot today, a construction technology company which is building the future of framing on home constructions. He's also founded over 70 companies, 70, created multiple $100 million businesses, and hosts the Financial Underdogs podcast also. And he's also the founder of EQRP. If many of you already know, what a great personality he is. And I really thank you, Damion, for joining. How are you, brother?
Great. It's great to be here, man. It's good to see you again. It's great to start the new year with.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I know you are wearing a cap. I said, okay, I'll also bring out the smile, be happy cap my team put together for me. So tell me more. Should I go to the website? Is that okay? Give us some, if those people who don't know you, maybe you want to give a little bit background.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's definitely show the website and pop that up while I'm sharing a little bit. You and I have been in the real estate world and in the investment world for decades. And one of the things that we've seen over the last 20, 30 years is housing and everything has gotten more expensive. And one of the reasons for that is that we're not producing enough. And it's becoming harder and harder to produce because of regulations. And we're not really innovating. Most of the construction world hasn't innovated since 1954, and that was the nail gun. So it's been like over 70 years since there was real big innovation that was broadly adopted across the entire industry. And what happened a few years ago, back in 2022, I was approached by some people and they said, hey, we've got an idea to solve the housing crisis. And it's a new, very high-tech way to build housing. And I said, that sounds really interesting. And got to know them and liked the idea. And I said, okay, let's do this. Let's bring the community together and solve this problem. And the ultimate goal is to produce more housing and do it so that we can drive prices down so that so things are more affordable, because that's hitting everybody. And this is our answer. FrameTech is our answer to that housing problem and the affordability crisis.
I'm very impressed, how the whole website is revolutionizing framing, new tech, new techniques. Take us through these numbers.
Yeah, so the big picture here is we got to figure out how to make more, faster, cheaper, better. And in construction, one of the things that we're able to do is do things like 4 times faster. So we typically will frame a house. We'll go from a slab to a framed house in 1 day on an average house. That is wicked fast. It's super fast. And it's not just sloppy. It's actually, the quality is 10 times better. Our stuff looks like furniture, and it's because we do something different. We do all the wall framing inside of a manufacturing plant. So we build these components, which means that they're in a controlled environment and everything is very straight. It's very perfect. And we do some other stuff to help the electricians and plumbers, but we're also using new technology with the FrameTech formula in which involves LSL and LVL, which is it's an engineered product. It's basically ground up pieces of wood that are pressed using resin, and they're 3 times stronger, and they're perfectly straight. So instead of look at boards that are all warped and waned
Yeah.
and they're twisted and they have knots, our boards are perfect. So we end up with a 10 times better quality product by using this different type of engineered product. And then the other stat that's astounding, if you've ever gone to a housing, like an apartment or a house that's being built, dumpsters full of wood, all that is what we should be seeing. And not, we shouldn't be seeing wood, we should be seeing dollars, because somebody's paying
Yeah.
for all that trash, and it's just destroying wood and trees and forests. So in our process with FrameTech, it's very cool because we virtually go to zero. It's almost nothing. There's some sawdust, but because we're using this engineered product and our technology and our formula, we're able to get to a point where we're less than 1% waste, which is insane, because typically it's 10 to 30% waste. And that's just a lot that we not only are not throwing away, but imagine how much money that saves for the end users. This is how we're driving pricing down and solving the problem.
So true. Thank you so much for going through all that. And just like you say here on the 160 billion in lost value for the crisis, real 600 million tons of construction waste that we just talked about, that 1%, you're able to save 99% of the wood. Project delays are the norm, which is true, 6 to 10 weeks on average, and severe labor shortage, which is again very big. But the frame tech solution, AI-powered manufacturing. So can you tell a little bit more about artificial intelligence? Is so prominent now. Everybody's on their bandwagon, right? So share with us how this technology is being used now. Yeah.
So what's happening is more basically every piece of software that we use, and then in fact, you and me and everybody else has AI built into it. And the question is, what are we
Yeah.
doing with it? And so
Yeah.
our machines are all AI empowered. So they have data that's coming in. And what's happening is literally by the week, new innovations happening in AI. We're able to learn how to do things better and automatically, things that humans are in the loop on, where we're constantly doing the same rudimentary, the same thing over and over. We're taking humans out of the loop more and more, so that we can speed things up and we don't miss things, because AI, once it learns, it knows and it doesn't make the same mistake. If there's a mistake, you can overpower that with the consistency of this artificial brain, if you will. And so we're able to do things that not only are we learning as we're designing and we're building, but our systems, kind of like with Tesla, we're building the technology of the future, where the robotics that are building stuff understand how to do it better and better and faster. And ultimately, this was going to lead into more robots doing more of the processes, which means you can have things going a lot longer. A human is not going to work 20 hours a day or 23 hours a day, but robots
Yeah.
and AI can continually do that, and it learns. So it's being baked into all of the systems. And what we're doing is we're finding better ways for humans to be a part of this process, taking them out of the really dangerous things, the things that hurt their body. We're removing those things and using AI and robots, and then doing things as simple as possible, because you don't want to overcomplicate with robotics. That's how a lot of companies fail.
Yeah.
They get over tech.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ours is about simplifying things, using technology to make it more efficient and streamlining it, and then making it as simple as possible. And that's the secret sauce of FrameTech. It's our formula.
Excellent, excellent. So 99%, we talked about the waste reduction, 4 times faster framing, delivery, reliable labor, free install. So can you take us through some example, maybe a case study, if you want to? Yeah.
Yeah. So what's really interesting is we've had some of these, like in Arizona, where our first 2 plants, the first one is operating and the second one is under development, where these builders are taking a house and they'll say, okay, here's our traditional house, and we build that, and then we go out and we build one for them, and they're side by side, and they go, okay, the one that you framed was it. It not only does it look totally different, but one of the biggest things that happens, we go out there, and here's part of our formula. We go out and we have technology where we draw all of everything that's going to happen in the house, the walls, the AC systems, the plumbing. We're going to draw that using robotic printing techniques on the slab. So we're not going to have a chalk line, which is what most people
Mm.
do. We're actually drawing all this. Then our team comes out with these components, all these walls. They put them up, and they're pre-drilled for plumbers. They're pre-drilled for electricians. They have lines on them for all the outlet boxes. We do all
Mhm.
this stuff to set everybody up for a more perfect experience and a faster execution. And then what happens once it's framed and people go in and do the plumbing and the electric, there's no rework that has to happen. That virtually always happens where you have to tear walls out or you have to move things around or you have to shim them. We've eliminated the rework, which costs a ton of money. It's a budget line item for basically everything. Everything that's built has rework. We're taking that out of the equation. So not only does that save a ton of money, but it also saves a ton of time and everything is predictable. If we say we're going to frame a house on January 15th, they can plan their other people January 16th because we know how long it's going to take and we execute that efficiently. It's like Toyota building a Forerunner in their plant. They know exactly how many minutes it's going to take. And we've gotten it down to the point where we can tell exactly what day it's going to be done. And it's very fast. And you don't have the elements, the rain, the snow, the wind messing with the actual material because we're so fast and they can go in and start doing the rest of it right after. So that changes the entire equation for all of the stuff for the builder and saves a ton of money. And it's literally a reimagining of the entire system. And the whole industry is following our lead. You watch all over the country, they're seeing what we're doing and they're starting to change and innovate, which is great. We want to see a lot of people innovate.
I love it. I love it. Wow, what an exciting this is, and there's so much shortage of single family homes, definitely condos, ADUs, and multifamily. Now, is your technology good for single family or is it for commercial also? What are you finding?
So we've been building houses, we've been building hotels, apartments, anything that's wood structure. And because we're using LSL and LVL, the laminated boards that are perfect and 3 times stronger, they've got the ability to withhold. So typical boards have a certain threshold and there's regulations about how many floors you can go up. But we've built multi-floor apartments and hotels. So 92% of housing is built with wood, and there's some people that are doing steel and concrete. That's all interesting, but that's not renewable the way that wood is. And so we've been building these things, and what's happening is after somebody builds a hotel using us, using FrameTech, they're not going to have anybody else do it. And the reason being, our quality is better, they're going to save money, and we're faster. And so we're able to do this, and it's after once you have the best, fastest, and it actually ends up being cheaper, there's no reason for you to ever go anywhere else. It just doesn't make economic sense. Like you'd have to be crazy, or you literally just couldn't get a spot in our queue to build. But we're building all those products and we're building them better, faster, and more economically feasible than everybody else.
Awesome. Awesome. Wow. No, thank you, Damion, for really throwing so much light on this special AI driven the factory, I should say, which is able to produce so quickly. The whole house, like you said, can be built in a day. Wow, that is mind blowing, really is.
And you know what's really fun is that the industry everybody's basically just done what they've always done. And more people are leaving the trades. They don't want to go out in the wind and the rain, the snow and the heat and freezing and do this kind of stuff. And so this is the future. When we think about framing, how we're going to produce, it has to be in a controlled environment because it's a lot more efficient. And quite frankly, you have less and less people that are willing to go out there and stand in the heat and all these elements. They're just not going to do it. The guys that have been doing that for years are retiring, and younger people just don't want to do it as much. And so we have to get smarter or we're just not going to be able to produce. And that's how we do it, by using like truly the heavy lifting. When you see our robots building these walls and they work together in teams, it's wild. Like one will do one thing, it'll be nailing, and the other one will start cutting. And then the other one changes its weapon from a nailer to another saw, and they're moving things around. You see that stuff happening and you realize, wow, people that are not adapting and adopting are literally going to get run over. But it's hard. It's very capital intensive. These plants cost 60 to 70 million dollars per plant to build. And it takes a lot of genius. There's been a lot of companies that have tried to do high tech, but they didn't have the experience in construction. They didn't have the experience in manufacturing. So what we've done is brought in industry experts that have spent decades in this space. And then we're bringing people in that have experience in AI and robotics, and we're bringing them all together. So we have all the different talent. That's why this is changing everything, and why people are realizing that they're going to have to do something similar, or they're going to have to team up with FrameTech, because simply the old way is not working anymore.
Wow. Wow. I see your point. I see your point. You're so innovative. I don't know if you will like to touch. Thanks again. Anything else you would like to tell the audience? How can they reach you, first of all? And then, of course, the builders and all these, so many people are out there in your circle and my circle, love to direct them to you. Yeah.
Yeah, going to FrameTech, it's frametec.com. And it's really simple. There's a good place to go if you're interested in learning about how you work with us. If you're interested in becoming one of our partners or investors, this, like I said, these things take 60, $70 million per plant to build. And what we see is we see massive value being created, which is obviously an incredible opportunity to be considered for an investment. So people should be looking at that. And they should also be looking at this and saying, how can we apply these things?
Yep.
How can we apply what FrameTech is doing to how we're doing things? How can we be more efficient? Also keep it simple. I think FrameTech is really the innovation and the R&D, the culture that we have is what makes us so different because we keep innovating. And I can tell you, it's hard. It's a lot easier to go buy a house that's already there or an apartment that's already built and just have your money sitting there. What's really difficult and what's challenging and exciting is building something that's never been done before and then watching the entire, like watching society just have their mouths drop and saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And that's the response we're getting. So it's very validating. And we really appreciated the people that have been a part of the hundreds of investors that have been a part of helping fuel this. And they're seeing it. We just had a couple of months ago, we had our investors out to Arizona and they got to see the product. They got to see the houses that we built. None of them had ever seen a house that was built as beautifully and fast as what they walked into. It was like they looked at it and they said, I wish I could build my house. They're asking, can we build this in Montana? And we say, not yet, but it's coming. And this is how they're all going to be built. So you can learn all about what we're doing at frametech.com and reach out to me there too.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Damion. I know you also have built many companies. Before we leave, I definitely want to say you're the father of EQRP, which is a beautiful retirement plan. Do you want to say anything about it also to the audience? Can I introduce?
Absolutely. One of the things that people are getting excited about is all the breakthroughs, all the technology, the things, whether it's crypto, it's AI, it's all the new things that are out there. And one of the things that's really challenging for a lot of people is that they don't get to be a part of the things that are early. They have to wait for their 401k or their IRA to buy stocks. And one of the neat things that people have access to with EQRP is they can say, okay, I want to take my 401k, my IRA money, and I want to go buy things. I want to invest in companies that are new, that aren't public companies yet. I want to go invest in Bitcoin, or I want to buy gold, or it gives them like all these opportunities to invest in the things early so that you can do really well like the big investors. It equalizes and levels the playing field for the Main Street investor, the people that are not tied into the big banks, the Chases, the Goldman Sachs. It really allows people to invest in really cool things, syndications, retirement homes, apartments, like all the stuff that you do. Like tons of people get to invest with you and do these things. They have access to that retirement money. And most people don't realize because the financial advisors don't want you to take your money and go off and do something else. They want to keep it. So this gives people control, and EQRP is a great tool for that.
I love it. I love it from Wall Street to Main Street. I call it checkbook control. And I have an account also with your company. And I've been so pleased and sent a lot of investors to your way. But no, thank you again. Thank you for taking the time. Damion, you're a tremendous friend and God bless you. And also let's make both of these businesses, which are your mainstream plus writing books and everything that you have done. Thanks so much for joining and God bless you with everything. Sure.
Thank you, Vinney. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Thank you.
Same here. See you again.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Dear friends, this is Vinney Chopra. I am so glad you're listening to the episode. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Please share it with others who can really benefit also. Can I ask you a favor? Just a small favor. Less than a minute, if you could give 5-star reviews on iTunes or Stitcher, that'll go a long way. We are one of the top podcasts in real estate now in the nation, but it will really help a lot if you gave 5-star reviews, and we'll bring a lot more great content for you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, and see you in the next episode. God bless you. Bye-bye. Wow, what an incredible conversation today. I hope you got tons of value from this episode. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media to stay updated on all the things real estate, investing, abundance mindset, and wealth creation. If you're an accredited investor looking for exclusive investment opportunities, be sure to join our elite Monil Investors Club at vinneychopra.com/invest, where we share details of our future projects. Quick disclaimer, we are not selling any securities, and this podcast is strictly for educational and information purposes only. The opinions shared by our guests are their own and should not be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, keep smiling, keep investing, and keep making a massive impact. God bless you.